Hey, this is the main message for the day, January 3rd, 2023. And it's about crying out to Jesus. Today is my 74th birthday, and I was thinking about this. What's the biggest deal in your life? The biggest place where you need God to intervene? You know, if you take a few minutes, you could probably come up with one place, maybe more than one, where you really need God to move. Imagine that you were blind in about 80, 32, 31, 32, way back in biblical times. Imagine you were blind. If you were blind, all you could do is beg. All you could do is beg and depend on your family. There was a blind dude, and he heard about Jesus coming by, you know. And you know what he did? He started crying out to Jesus. The biggest deal in his life was being blind, and he was asking for Jesus to intervene. It's in Luke chapter 18, verses 35 through 43. Listen to these verses. We'll comment on them as we go through them. As Jesus approached Jericho, a blind man was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard the crowd going by, he asked, "What's happening? You know, there's a bunch of commotion going on. What's going on here?" And they told him, "Jesus of Nazareth is passing by." And he called out, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." Started crying out to Jesus, okay? Those who led the way rebuked him and told him to be quiet. But he shouted all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." They're saying, "Shut up, leave the guy alone." And the more they did that, the more he cried out to Jesus. You know why? He had a need, and he needed for Jesus to intervene. He needed for Jesus to help him with being blind. What's your need? Cry out to Jesus, and when other people tell you, leave the Lord alone about this bunch of nonsense, do what the old blind guy did by the road on the way into Jericho. He hollered all the more, you know. Someone tells you to give it up, keep crying out to Jesus. Do not back off. Verse 40, Jesus stopped and ordered the man to be brought to him. When he came near, Jesus asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" You know, he said, "What's your need?" Maybe Jesus is saying that to you. What is your need? What do you want me to do for you? "Lord, I want to see," he replied. He told him what his need was. His passion was to get his sight back so he could live a normal life, okay? And so he cried out to Jesus, "Lord, I want to see." And Jesus said to him, "Receive your sight, your faith has healed you." How did he express his faith? Okay, he trusted Jesus, okay? And you know how he trusted Jesus? He hollered at Jesus when he was going by, and he kept hollering and kept hollering and kept hollering until Jesus responded to him and touched his life with his grace and his healing. Where do you need the touch of Jesus? And it could be lots more than physical. You might have financial needs. You might have emotional needs. You might have someone who broke your heart, okay? Jesus will fix it. He'll fix your broken heart. You might have all kinds of needs. Maybe your child is rebellious. I used to have people talk to me about when I was in ministry and stuff. Every now and then someone will still say this. "I don't know what to do with my child." You know, he just won't get it right. In fact, I had someone say that in response to a YouTube message. "I don't know what to do for my son. Pray for him." And I did, you know. But you know what I used to tell people? You ought to talk to my mom. My mom is in heaven now, so I can't do that. But I was crazy when I was a kid. And my mom and my grandparents prayed and asked God to bring me around. He did. They were hollering out to Jesus like the blind guy. Listen to verse 43. Immediately, he received his sight and followed Jesus, praising God. When Jesus says yes to your holler, follow Jesus and praise God. When all the people saw it, they praised God. You have a need in your life? Could be all kinds of them. The way to solve it, cry out to Jesus. Cry out to Jesus until he answers. That's how long you cry out to Jesus. He'll answer. Keep at it. I will talk to you soon. Have a blessed year.